With good news for today from Baptist Press, I'm Brandon Porter. Monica Amanda Zuniga Bailey is sharing her inspiring story as a rape survivor through the I Am Second series of videos produced by the Dallas-based nonprofit that bears the same name. She says for years she blamed herself, tried to cope with the trauma through what she called empty intimacies, and vowed to never tell anyone about the attack. A victim of date rape, Bailey said it almost happened a second time, and that experience sent her down a path that led her to God. It was then, she said, that she cried out to God for the first time in many years. She says the Lord reminded her that she was worthy of love, and that reminder helped her surrender her life to Christ and find the healing that she desperately needed. After several years of counseling and therapy, she's now speaking out to try to protect others from facing the grief she experienced. Bailey sees a role for the church to play in helping rape survivors heal and in discipling young men and women in today's sexualized society. She says both professional counseling and Christian mentors have helped her through the recovery process. She hopes other women who have experienced rape or abuse can see her life as a testimony and example of God's faithfulness and His ability to redeem and restore all things. Through her ministry called We Are Unveiled, she works to help churches speak out against sexual abuse. According to Bailey, 1 in 3 women are victims of sexual abuse, and many of them experience it in their childhood. You can find out more at her website, weareunveiled.com. Back with more in just a moment.
Good News for Today is made possible through our friends at the Voice of the Martyrs, a nonprofit organization that serves persecuted Christians around the world. Founded in 1967 by Richard and Sabina Wurmbrand, VOM is dedicated to inspiring believers to deepen their commitment to Christ and to fulfill His Great Commission, no matter the cost. Find out more and sign up for their free monthly magazine at vom.org/goodnews.
Afghan refugees in Minnesota and Wisconsin have received help and hope from the Minnesota-Wisconsin Women's Missionary Union, which has been meeting practical needs and building relationships through a ministry fueled by a grant from the WMU Foundation. Organization President Gwendolyn Sutton said the grant has allowed them to partner with the Hanan Refugee Relief to meet practical needs and develop relationships and community. Since the crisis in Afghanistan began last fall, more than 150,000 Afghan refugees have been brought to military bases all over the United States with the hopes of being resettled. You can find more news and stories like this at baptistpress.com. Thanks for listening to Good News for Today. I'm Brandon Porter.